my chair scraping the floor. The waiter rushed over, apologizing, even though it wasn't his fault, bending down to clean the cake. I helped him, even though it should have been Tyler and Kelly doing that. My hands shook as I picked up pieces of my own celebration off a dirty restaurant floor. I expected my parents to scold Tyler, to make him apologize, to offer to pay for the cake. Instead, Kelly said, "Relax, it was just a cake. We'll get dessert somewhere else." My mom said, "Don't make a scene, Rachel. It's fine. It's just food." I looked up at her and realized something. To them, this really was just food. The years of work, the money, the loans, the effort, all of that was invisible, just like I was. After the cake disaster, the dinner fell apart. My friends were polite, but they had that wide-eyed look people get when they've just watched something ugly. They left as soon as they could, hugging me tight and whispering, "Call me later," in my ear. My dad paid the check, grumbling about prices. Tyler bragged, "Did you see Aunt Rachel's face?" like he'd just pulled off a legendary prank. Kelly told him, "Okay, that's enough," but there was pride in her eyes. My parents didn't challenge him. Nobody made him apologize. Nobody said, "You ruined something important." We walked out to the parking lot. My mom said, "You ride with us, right?" It wasn't really a question. On the drive back to my apartment, the car was filled with chatter about everything except what had just happened. My dad talked about gas prices. Kelly scrolled on her phone. My mom asked if there was traffic on the way in. Tyler made jokes about college kids. I sat in the back seat, staring at the back of their heads, holding a plastic bag with the smashed remains of my cake because the waiter had asked if I wanted to take it home. I didn't even know why I said yes. When we pulled into the parking lot of my building, my mom turned around and said, "Don't be mad, honey. He's just a teenager. Boys do dumb things. You know that." I said nothing. Kelly added, "If you can't take a joke now, how are you going to handle the real world of finance?" She laughed at her own line. My dad said, "We had a good time. Don't ruin it by being sensitive." Sensitive. That word again. Used like an insult, like a diagnosis. As if the problem wasn't that my nephew had destroyed my cake and humiliated me in public, but that I cared. I opened the car door, got out, and said the only thing I could manage without screaming. "Thanks for coming." Then I closed the door and walked away. I heard Kelly say, "She'll get over it," as they pulled out. That night, I didn't get over it. I got even. Back in my apartment, I put the bag with the ruined cake straight into the trash. I stood there in my graduation gown, watching frosting smear down the inside of the plastic, and finally let myself cry. Not just about the cake, but about everything it stood for. Every time my needs were just something, just a class, just a laptop, just a cake, just a feeling, just me. I showered, put on sweatpants, and sat on my bed, staring at my phone. Part of me hoped someone would text an apology. Maybe Kelly would realize she'd gone too far. Maybe my mom would say, "We talked to Tyler. He's sorry. We're sorry." Instead, 2 hours later, my phone buzzed with a long message from my mother. It read, "After talking it over, we've decided it's best to sever all contact. You've changed, Rachel. You're negative and ungrateful. You embarrassed us tonight with your attitude. Stay away from us and from Tyler. Forever." I read it 3 times. My hands went numb. A few seconds later, a little thumbs up icon popped up under the message. Kelly had liked it in the group chat. It felt like a digital signature on a contract I never agreed to. Years of helping, of signing, of paying, of bending, and this was the thanks. I was the problem. The negative one. The one to be cut off. My first instinct was to call and defend myself, to explain, to beg. Then another thought hit me, clear and sharp, removing my name from every loan tomorrow. I typed that exact sentence into the group chat, hit send, and put my phone face down. For a minute, there was silence. Then my phone lit up like a Christmas tree. Call after call. Message after message. What do you mean? You can't do that. Answer the phone. Are you serious? The same family that told me to stay away forever was suddenly desperate to reach me. That's when I understood how much of their lives was tied up in my name. By midnight, I had over 100 missed calls. My mom called. My dad called. Kelly called. Even Tyler tried once. My voicemail filled up with messages that all had the same flavor. Panic. Rachel, call us back. We didn't mean it like that. You're overreacting. You can't just walk away from your responsibilities. Those loans are in your name too. The same people who had just told me I was cut off were now reminding me we were legally tied. It would have been funny if it hadn't been so sad. I listened to one message from my mom where she said, "You know we can't get those loans without you. They'll ruin our credit if you pull out." Then another from Kelly, "Don't be petty. Think about Tyler. Do you want him to lose his home?" That one sparked real anger. The car he drove, the credit cards with my name, the personal loan with my parents. Those were not his home. Those were choices they made, using me as a shield. I realized something important that night. All these years, I thought I was helping them because I was kind. But the truth was, they had come to see me as a resource, not a person. A tool, not a daughter or a sister. Tools don't get to have hurt feelings. Tools don't get mad when someone ruins their cake. Tools just keep working. My response about removing my name from the loans had reminded them I was human, and humans can make choices. I silenced my phone and went to sleep with their desperate voices still echoing in my ears. For the first time in a long time, I slept deeply. Because tomorrow, for the first time ever, I was going to put my own name first. The next morning, I woke up early, made coffee, and pulled out a folder where I kept all my loan documents. It was thick. Inside were printouts and letters from the car loan Kelly had begged me to co-sign, the personal loan my parents had taken for a few months, and a store card I'd opened for my mom's emergencies that somehow always had a balance. I flipped through each one, highlighting where my name appeared. Co-borrower, co-signer, primary account holder. It hit me how deep I was in. If any of these went bad, it wouldn't just hurt them. It would wreck my fresh degree and my future. I called my own financial advisor, a woman at the campus credit union who had helped me get my first card. I told her the truth, all of it. She didn't judge. She simply said, "You are not the first person to be trapped like this, but you can start getting out." She helped me list each account and figure out the steps. Some I couldn't just remove my name from. Co-signing isn't a sticker you peel off when you're done, but others, like the store card and a small line of credit, could be closed or refinanced. For the bigger loans, she suggested talking to the bank about refinancing them into my parents' or Kelly's names alone, if they qualified. If they don't, she said gently, you have a choice. You can keep risking your future for people who just told you to stay away, or you can protect yourself and accept that the fallout is theirs, not yours. It was harsh. It was also the first truly honest financial advice I'd gotten. That afternoon, I went to the bank in person. I sat across from a loan officer, slid my folder across the desk, and said, I want to remove myself from any account where I am not the person actually paying. If that's not possible, I want options to protect my credit if the other party defaults. He raised his eyebrows, but he didn't argue. We went through each loan. We called my parents and Kelly from his office phone when needed. Hearing their shock when they realized I was serious was like watching dominoes fall in slow motion. We started with the store card. It was in my name as primary, with my mom as an authorized user. I had never seen a payment come from my mom's account, but she'd used it often. We can close this today, the loan officer said. You'll still be responsible for the balance, but no more charges can be added. I nodded and signed. My mom called while we were mid-process. Why is my card declined? She demanded. I said, because the card is in my name, and you cut me off last night. I'm not leaving open lines for people who don't want me in their lives. She sputtered. That's not fair. I replied, fair would have been you defending me when your grandson humiliated me. Fair would have been not using me as your personal bank for 10 years. This is just me catching up. We moved to the personal loan with my parents. My name and my dad's were both on it. Payments had been irregular. The loan officer said, "We can't remove you without your father qualifying on his own. Right now, his credit score won't support that." He looked at me. "You're locked in unless the loan is paid off or refinanced by someone else." I felt the old panic rising, but this time I didn't swallow it. I said, "Then I want a note added to my file that I'm the co-borrower, not the primary payer, and I want alerts for any late payment. I won't let this sit in silence." The officer nodded, made a note. It didn't free me, but it gave me a warning system. For Kelly's car loan, the answer was similar. We called her. "You can't do this," she snapped. "I told you I'd pay. You're ruining my life over a cake." I said, "No, I'm refusing to ruin my life over your choices anymore." The officer offered her a refinance option, but her income and credit weren't enough. She hung up on us mid-call. I left the bank not fully cut loose, but no longer asleep at the wheel. The tools they'd used me as were now in my hands, and my family knew it. Back at home, I sat down with my own budget. Until that point, I had been sending extra money every month toward my parents' loan and sometimes covering Kelly's late car payment to avoid damage to my credit. I added it up. Over the past 5 years, I had paid over $12,000 toward debts that weren't truly mine. That was on top of my own student loans, rent, and living costs. Meanwhile, my parents had told neighbors, "Rachel is doing fine," like I was some kind of money tree with endless fruit. I decided that day those extra payments were done. From now on, I would pay only what I was legally required to, and nothing more. If they were late, it would hurt me, yes, but it would hurt them more. Maybe that was what it would take for them to feel the weight I had been carrying alone. I wrote a new budget where the money I used to send to them went into my savings instead. An emergency fund. A get out of this town someday fund. I am not a walking ATM fund. I also made a list of steps to protect myself long-term, build up a 6-month cushion, pay down my own highest interest debt, look for a job in a city farther away, and eventually refinance any remaining joint loans into my name alone, only if it meant I could fully control them. I wasn't going to leave any more open doors for people who thought they could kick me out of their lives in a text and still sleep at night knowing my name was glued to their bills. As I worked, my phone buzzed with messages, apologies mixed with threats. "If you don't help us, we'll lose the car. If you keep this up, don't expect us at your wedding. You're tearing this family apart." I let them all sit unread. For once, I wasn't rushing to fix the mess. I was watching it from a distance and deciding how much of it actually belonged to me. That evening, the family group chat turned into a public meltdown. My mom started with, "Rachel, this is your mother. Answer me." Kelly jumped in. "You're cruel. You know we depend on you. After everything we've done, this is how you repay us?" I stared at the words, "everything we've done," and almost laughed. My dad tried the guilt angle. "Families go through fights. You don't burn it all down over one bad joke." Tyler, from his own number, wrote, "Sorry about your cake, LOL." The lol made my blood boil more than anything else. It was proof he still thought it was harmless fun. I typed my response slowly, choosing every word. "You didn't sever contact over one joke. You severed contact after years of using me, mocking me, and ignoring my feelings. The cake was just the moment I finally saw it clearly." My mom replied, "We were just upset last night. We didn't mean it." I answered, "You meant it enough to put it in writing. I believed you. I am honoring your request. You don't want a relationship with me? Fine. But you don't get my credit, my money, or my free